members, cheerio, Keane, Taekwon-Do. I'm just going to go through a short video here just to explain the different motions that we have within Taekwondo. So, first one we've got what we call normal motion. So that's where we just start from the starting position and then we go through at normal pace, whether it's outer forearm low block, whether it's sitting stance punch, it doesn't make a difference. So it's just normal speed, normal power, everything generated as we would normally do it, including our breath control, sine wave, waist twist, all the different tools that we have. Then we move on to fast motion. Touched a little bit of this on our class on Saturday, but fast motion is basically double the speed of what we call normal motion. So if it takes you 1 second to do normal motion, you should be able to reduce that down to half a second to do fast motion. Now, again, remembering the difference is it's the transition between the move is fast, it's not the actual move itself. We can't go any faster than full speed. We should do every motion at full speed. So we stand there, parallel stance punch, it's fast. So we transition between the punches. We notice there's a little pause, little gap in there. We go to fast motion. So still full speed punches, but now the gap in between them is shorter. So that's the distance. We halve that gap, not the actual speed of the technique. So don't let fast motion kind of throw you off a little bit. Next one that we have then would be continuous motion. Now continuous motion is one of those techniques where we do it in Dangun. We have to do the two moves, and again, translating it in what we call in English, you're doing the same technique, or two different techniques, but in a continuous motion. So we're going to do outer forearm low block, followed by rising block in a continuous motion. So again, all that means is there's no pause in between. We don't perform the moves any faster, everything is in normal motion, but as soon as we execute the low block, we go straight into the rising block. Now, easy way of determining it is your breath control. If you use continuous motion, you should always be breathing out, continuously breathing out. But you're going to have two separate exhales. So, but at all time, my breath never stopped. I was breathing out all the time. The other thing you'll notice is that there's two sine waves. So we'll go down, up, down, down, up, down. In normal time, two sine waves, two finished breaths, but continuously exhaling. So the moves roll one straight into the other, like continuous. Next one we have then is connecting motion. Connecting motion can be described where you connect one move to another. So it's as if you're making two moves and mashing them together, creating one. We explained this before when we did circular block. It's like connecting motion, but it's one technique. So then we have in Yule block, hooking block. Then we do the second one and punch. So the second one and the punch are what we call connecting motion. So connecting motion has one sine wave, has one breath, so it only exhales once. But so the first technique will be there, like, so you're breathing out. Now I'm trying to exaggerate my breath so you can hear it. But realistically, you're exhaling out, but then you only finish fast on one technique. Another one we do in gay back, we do scooping block, and then we extend. So same idea, you're connecting the two moves through the breath. Only one sine wave. So back to our sine wave, I think for fast motion, to explain that a little bit, it's 1.5 sine waves. So you will do, let's say, front smashing kick. Wedging block, front smashing kick, sine wave. Punch, punch. So if you notice, and we explained this on Saturday, after you've done the first punch, as soon as the punch finishes, the heel comes off the ground, the back foot, and then we punch. So for the second one, we realistically only come up, down. We don't go down, up, down like we do a normal sine wave, so we have those differences. Now in slow motion. Slow motion is where we do a technique at half the speed. Big mistake that a lot of people do is they do slow motion techniques that takes maybe 10 seconds. If your normal technique will take 1 second, slow motion should take 2 seconds. Nice and simple. So we can start, say, forearm guarding block, lift up the leading leg, down. Slow motion, step forward again, down. If it was done in fast motion, or normal motion, from there, So it is just half the speed. We don't need to go to take our time going down through it. It just needs to be half the speed of our what we call normal motion. There's a few other, it's not even a motion, but it's where you have consecutive. So consecutive just means you do one after the other. So in Chungmu, you perform Yupchagi near the end, followed by another Yupchagi, but instead of saying followed by, it's consecutively. You perform the two of them one after the other. So it's where you're doing the same technique, one after the other. So that's our different motions. Hopefully that's a little bit of helpful to you. Cheerio. Come here.